Totem tells me that the Sling plane is especially appealing because it is equipped with modern technologies, such as this touchscreen navigation system and a flight stick. With the goal of improving quality over quantity, Stavanis tells me that Low Key Burritos is growing faster than he ever would have thought. And with burritos like these, it's not hard to see why. One of the big aspects about this event is this colored bead table, which you can see right behind me. It allows patrons at this event to come and wear colored beads like the ones I've got around my neck that can help find other people that have gone through the same experiences that they have. Blue Robotics' flagship project is the Blue ROV2, which you can see in this pool behind me. Patrons at this event are able to pilot the Blue ROV2 themselves using a simple video game controller. It is certainly possible to see more news reports like this one showing up on Snapchat in the future. Reporting for the Report program on Snapchat, I'm Michael Patterson.
Earlier, I spoke to a 7-year veteran of the Cal State Fullerton Police Department about a new pedestrian safety program they call Operation PED.
Despite efforts from Mayor Mike Spence to join the city of Huntington Beach in rejecting Senate Bill 54, the rest of the city council ultimately did not agree. One such teacher is North High English teacher Jonathan Sperling, who's been encouraging his students to participate in Visions of Unity for over 10 years. It was a great game on both sides, offense and defense for the Titans tonight, but most importantly in the circle. Taylor Dawkins going 6 innings. Amidst the roar of propellers and the whir of rotors, at the Torrance Airport is an academy that is solving a big need, one flight at a time.
I've been flying for 40 years, and I've never seen it like this.
According to a 2018 Boeing industry forecast, there is going to be a need for 790,000 civil aviation pilots in the next 20 years. Tomas Martinez, a flight instructor at the Sling Pilot Academy located at the Torrance Airport, says there is a major shortage, so severe that airline companies are now offering large signing bonuses to drive interest in the aviation industry.
When you get that exploding market, you couple that with more people flying, then you couple that with it takes a long time to make a pilot and the retirement age of 65. You put all those things together and then you get a pilot shortage.
Our focus is to get you to the airlines the quickest.
Wayne Totten is a part owner of the Sling Pilot Academy, and his response to the issue was to offer a 9-month accelerated course. With tuition costing nearly $63,000, it is faster and cheaper compared to most other flight schools.
There's a great opportunity for pilots right now, and it's going to get even better over the next 10 years.
Unlike other flight schools, the Academy allows students to fly in modern planes, such as the Sling, that more closely resemble the electronic components found in airline planes. Totem tells me that the Sling plane is especially appealing because it is equipped with modern technologies, such as this touchscreen navigation system and a flight stick, which makes the plane fly like a fighter jet.
Why would you learn in an aircraft that was designed back in the 50s, a vintage aircraft, if you're going to be flying modern aircraft with modern instruments?
Everybody here just wants to fly, and they're always excited about flying. The most amazing process about becoming a pilot is just flying an airplane. It's the most amazing feeling in the world.
Students like Butler started flying because of a passion for aviation, but now due to incentives from the pilot shortage may consider it a future career. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Michael Patterson. Breakfast burritos. A feat of cooking that is easy to learn but hard to master. For Matt Stavanis, known by many on Instagram as Low Key Burritos, his style of making burritos on a flat-top grill is turning up the heat on the street food scene.
I said, I'm going to give it about 6 months, and if it's not popular, then I'm doing something wrong.
Stavanis started Low Key Burritos in August of last year and has more than 6,000 followers on Instagram. He lives up to the low-key name by cooking on sidewalks and outside local coffee shops, making fresh burritos for patrons in Torrance, Long Beach, and downtown Los Angeles.
It means a lot to, that people come out and they'll drive from so far away just to come out and eat the food. And, it's like you're providing, in the long run, something better for my kids.
The idea to start Low Key Burritos came from spending too much time away from his young sons and wanting to provide a better life for them. The long hours working at another breakfast burrito joint eventually became too much to bear.
I would spend 8-9 hours a day, away from my kids, and it's kind of like, is it really worth this money to me? And I figured, if I'm able to crank out 400, 500 burritos, kind of like what they were doing over there, why can't I do it? And obviously do it the way that I want to do it, with my style and just the way that I like to cook food.
Now, not even a year since he opened up shop, Stavanis has developed a following that has people coming from as far away as Anaheim to get his food. What makes these burritos so good is the freshness of the ingredients, which Stavanis says is key to his success.
Everything's done the night before, every time. You know, it's just something that I just don't want to sacrifice.
The freshness is just one aspect that makes these burritos so great. What really drives people to him is the crispy cheese crust that is grilled on at the end.
I love how he has his own style. Usually I just tell him, make me whatever, like surprise me, and each time it's like great. The cheese crust is probably my favorite thing on it.
I enjoy food so much and I enjoy cooking it that I really feel like, you know, if you're in a good mood, then the food tastes great. That's been something that I've never been able to find in a job, is something that I can do and enjoy it all the time.
With the goal of improving quality over quantity, Stavanis tells me that low-key burritos is growing faster than he ever would have thought. And with burritos like these, it's not hard to see why. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Michael Patterson.
It's turned into a much bigger thing than I ever imagined, but it's awesome.
What started as a crowdfunding campaign for Rusty Jahangir making cost-effective propeller devices in his garage has turned into a full-fledged robotic technology business.
When we launched the Kickstarter, we raised 3 times more than we were asking for, and the orders just kept rolling in after that.
Jahangir is now the founder of Blue Robotics in Torrance, whose products are being used by engineers worldwide. Blue Robotics recently hosted an open house, which invited members of the community to see their products firsthand. Blue Robotics' flagship project is the Blue ROV2, which you can see in this pool behind me. Patrons at this event are able to pilot the Blue ROV2 themselves using a simple video game controller. According to Jahangir, the Blue ROV2 has many uses. People have used the vehicle and its components to control invasive fish populations and even measure depths of lakes to monitor climate change.
We've really focused on making our products low cost. So something that a few years ago somebody never would have considered doing with a marine robotic product, now it's 10 times cheaper, and it opens up that opportunity. We sell a lot of components to high school students who are using them in high school ROV competitions, and some of those things just never would have been possible a few years ago.
Blue Robotics' goal is to make marine engineering more accessible by lowering the cost of parts, which has now allowed their products to be used on an international scale and spark the interest of professionals and local leaders.
It's so invigorating to me because they're building a product here that has a global use. And anytime that we have a presence in the whole world at the city of Torrance, to me that makes me feel very proud of our city.
We've hired a number of people from Torrance. Some of our engineers, some of our technicians grew up and grew up in Torrance, and now they're working down the street, which is very cool.
Jahangir hopes that the company can continue to enable the future of marine robotics and keep expanding to bigger and better products. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Michael Patterson.